Testing one, two, three. Lee, it's Steve Brett. You're a little soft. Can you hear me? Good, good. How do I sound? I think I can use my Zoom to no, I'm using my earpiece. Can you see me or you're I know you're not doing the video in general, but you don't see me. Can, can you do me one favor and give me permission to record? So on my end, I can see me and I can edit stuff later if I want to use this for some promotion. You go into settings, which is in zoom.us, top left. Yeah, okay. Not yet. Let's see. Yep, I'm good. I'm good to go. See how easy that was? There you go. As you like. I am ready to go. Very cool. Oh, thanks a lot. Enjoy coming out and doing these things. Virtual pitch practice is something that we've been thinking about for a long time, but now because of COVID, we're doing it, and it takes on a kind of a special importance. You know, in the old days, you could go to pitch practice, right? And pitch practice was a question of getting in front of a bunch of people that you know, maybe at Atlanta Tech Village or ATDC, and working on your presentation, whether you're presenting to an investor or a prospect or a channel partner, you just got a chance to practice and rehearse and get some feedback in real time. But of course, now with COVID, we can't get together in person in the conference room. And so we've decided to have a virtual pitch practice. And the way it is, it's just as though we were doing pitch practice together, except that it's on Zoom, it's remote, wherever you are, wherever the rest of the team happens to be, we're going to get together, we're going to work on our presentations, we're going to get some feedback and make them better. The startup thing came pretty much in the last about 6 or 7 years. Um, you may or may not know this, but I actually started in radio, went into the ad agency business, and then came to Atlanta. And when I got here, I got hooked up with a bunch of folks at Emory University. And Emory's Goizueta Business School, like so many others, was trying to build its reputation for entrepreneurship. And what they did, and I was one of the founding board of advisors for this, was put together something that we call the Raise Forum. And, in 15 words or less, the Raise Forum is an opportunity for qualified businesses who want to scale to get in front of active investors who want to invest, looking for a reasonable payback or a big payback. Maybe they're looking for Facebook. And so we built this thing over 6 or 7 years. We have the professor of entrepreneurship, Charlie Getz. We have Barry Etra, who founded this particular group. And what I'm doing with virtual pitch practice is exactly what we do with the startup companies who come to the Raise Forum. They come to us, we get a panel of experts. I'm the presentation or the marketing guy. We have a numbers guy who came from Deloitte or from Accenture. We have a big time marketing guy who worked growing national and international businesses. And we have subject matter experts. And so when these companies apply to us because they need $500,000 or $5 million to scale their business, we go through, we look for the top 8 or 10 companies, and then we put them through this same process that you would have with virtual pitch practice, which is we let them do their thing, and then we give them pointers because we know what their prospects want to hear. We know what investors want to hear. And all of us have some kind of experience making businesses grow. And we've been doing that for 7 or 8 years now at Emory's Goizueta Business School. Okay, I'm going to answer that 2 ways. First, at the Raise Forum, we get about 100 applications twice a year. We cull the 100 down to what you just said, 25 bona fide businesses with real potential. And then we cull that down to the 8 or 10 by working with them. And we only present those 8 or 10 with bona fide investable businesses to the active investors. But the beauty of virtual pitch practice is that everybody's invited to come. I want everybody with a crazy idea, with a beginning idea, with an idea that's just about to take off. Everybody's invited to virtual pitch practice. And the other thing I forgot to mention is that it'll be interactive with the internet. So what you're going to get is instant feedback. You're going to get 50 or 100 or 500 people saying, that's a great idea. Or, are you nuts? You can't make any business out of that. But we can either coach them, we can help them pivot, we can help them reshape the message so that it does make sense. They'll get that kind of business acumen from our subject matter experts. And so, at the Raise Forum, you've got to have a proven business model. For virtual pitch practice, we want everybody to come and try out your idea online with us. That's exactly it. We're just launching it, and we're about to put up a calendar sign-up sheet, and it'll be just like open mic night. One thing that we will do on a bunch of shows is have some superstars and highlight some successful businesses. But for the rest of the program, the rest of the session, it'll be sign up, first come, first serve. And the format will go something like this. We will give you, what is an elevator pitch anyway? It's about 15, 20 seconds, right? If you're in the elevator with Mark Cuban on Shark Tank and you're just about to go into the studio, you got 15 seconds to talk to him. We'll work on people's elevator pitches first. And so That'll be the start of your session on virtual pitch practice. And then we'll give everybody an additional 2 or 3 minutes and 2 or 3 slides, because 3 slides is what I would teach as a beginning, a middle, and an end. So you got to hook somebody in the first slide with their problem or their pain point, or, it's a once upon a time. Once upon a time, we really needed to invent this and such. Then the second slide, which is the middle of your presentation, will be the proof. And the third slide will be the pitch or the close or the ask. And we'll give people 2 or 3 minutes to do a very short version of their full sales pitch or investor pitch. And again, we'll come back, we'll give them tips on how to do their slides better, how the script could be better, how the story can be told. And like I said, all at the same time, the chat box will have people commenting from all over the internet. So everybody will get about 5 minutes, maybe 5 or 7 minutes on the show, and then we'll move on to the next. And hopefully in an hour session, just like a Friday pitch practice would be at ATV, we'll see probably 4 or 5 full pitches, and everybody gets a shot who has signed up on the calendar link. Good. Thanks for asking. I almost forgot. The nice thing about this is they will have improved, hopefully in their 5 or 6 minute session. We will record the whole thing and we will edit. And we can do it one of 2 ways. Of course, we can create the archive, which we will do, so that anytime you've been on the show and somebody says to you, hey, can I see your interview? Sure. You just come to virtualpitchpractice.com, you type in the name of the business or the individual, and bang, there it is. And we will edit these things down into a 2 or 3 minute movie format that'll play on anybody's computer, and we'll give it to you so that you can either send it out for your marketing efforts, put it on your website, whatever you want to use it for. Well, there's a million do's and don'ts and tips and formats. I will say this, a couple of things. One, as I said a few minutes ago, every presentation needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. You got to hook somebody, then you have to tell them your story, and then you have to close them. Or if you want to put it a different way, it's the premise, the proof, and the promise. Okay, so that's one tip right there. And it doesn't matter if you're using 3 slides or 10 slides. You could use 3 slides to set the hook, 3 slides to do the proof, and then 3 slides to get to the close. So that's one thing. The other quick thing I'll say about a big presentation is everybody can go online and look at Guy Kawasaki's template for making an investor pitch. Guy Kawasaki was the guy who twice brought Apple back from the brink and worked closely with Steve Jobs to make the company what it is today. He's got a 10-slide template, which you can use. But here's a tip. If you're going to use the template, and we've all seen this, so the template for Guy Kawasaki, we've seen the template for a PowerPoint presentation. Do not go with the headline "About Us." Instead, what is it about you? We're the best because. Do not go with the headline "The Problem." Instead, replace that template headline, "The Problem," with what is the problem? The problem is we don't have enough this, or you need more that. Remember to replace the template headlines with the headlines that matter to you and your business. And the last thing that I'll say is A lot of people say, "Oh, I can't do that. I can't present. I get nervous." And they crash. Here's how you get over that: preparation. Spend a lot of time. If you have a presentation to do on Thursday, don't start it on Tuesday. Start it 2 Thursdays prior. Work it out. Put it down. Bring it back. Fix it. Look at it again. Show it to your mother. Show it to your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your colleagues, of course. Try it out on somebody first, like pitch practice, and let them tell you what's good, what they understood, what they didn't understand, and rehearse, rehearse, rehearse. Then, by the time you get up to do that, it won't be a question of, oh, I can't do that. I'm so nervous. I didn't have enough time. It'll feel natural. And even if you're reading the script, you will now be able to read the script in a calm, natural way. That's, the whole thing is everybody does great when they're sitting over a coffee at Starbucks, but it gets a lot harder when you have to stand up and do it in front of a conference room or do it in front of a conference with 200 or 300 people. So preparation is key. Can I tell you one quick anecdote? All right. I had a guy, a client, who came to me and he said, "You know what, Steve? I black out." I said, "What do you mean you black out?" He says, "I get to the podium and I black out. And afterwards, my clothes are soaked through and people tell me I did all right, but I don't remember a thing about it." I said, "That's crazy." And here's how we helped this guy. We practiced going in to the venue from his car. And he got to the front door, then he went back to his car. And then he went into the venue and he walked all the way to the hall. And then he walked back out to his car so that each time he was reducing his anxiety. Finally, he got to the podium. He started to make his presentation. He was so concerned about the slides. I said, "You forget about the slides, just talk. I'll do the slides." And lo and behold, 2 weeks later, this guy was ready to do a great presentation at a national conference. And he remembered doing it. So there's always a way to fix it. Right, right. So I'm going to refer back to Steve Jobs again. Steve Jobs was a hero of mine. I had Apple stock since the beginning of time and the first Apple computers, and I followed his career. Steve Jobs said about product development, and this is about pitching as well, you don't start from what you have, your cool technology, and try to sell it to somebody. You start from the user experience. What do they need? Why are they unhappy? And how can we make their experience better? And that's how we develop the product. The same thing is true of the pitch. Engineers and software guys and tech guys, and I know because both of my son and my son-in-law are tech guys, they get into the weeds immediately. So if it's complicated, think of the user. What do they care about? Tell the story about, do you remember the time that you were on hold forever and the answering machine didn't answer and that you got cut off? And as soon as they say, "Yeah, let me tell you my story," or "that happens all the time," now you can tell them what you've invented or what you've developed because there's a personal connection. And one last thing on that, the more complicated your concept is, the harder you have to work to make it understood. Now, let me be clear. I'm not saying dumb it down. scientists and doctors at CDC, where I teach workshops, they say, well, I'm not going to dumb down my presentation. I'm not asking you to dumb it down. I'm asking you to work harder for somebody who's unfamiliar with the material to explain it to them in order to make it clear. Very much so. Very much so. Virtual pitch practice is going to be a lot of fun. My business that I've been working at for the last 10 years is presentation tune-ups. I will sit with any individual and work with them on a project basis. They'll bring me the deck, they'll tell me who the audience is, and they'll tell me why they haven't been able to meet the mark or to connect with the people they want to connect with. And we will reshape the story, the language, the headlines on the deck, and give them a presentation that actually accomplishes what they need to accomplish. The websites are presentationtuneups.com. It's all one word, presentationtuneups.com. That's what I do. And if you want to get on the show or get that free, kind of virtual pitch practice, again, it's virtual pitch practice, one word, .com. And sign up now and we'll get you on the mailing list for virtualpitchpractice.com. And shortly we'll be putting up the calendar invites so that you can schedule your appearance on virtual pitch practice. Thanks for having me, Leo. Really appreciate it. How'd we do? I talked to Stone a little bit about how we could work together. You asked that question, and I don't know if we're competing or if we can partner on some of these things. But if you do get somebody like you described who needs the kind of help that I can give them, send them to the show or send them to me personally. And when I do the show, it'll also be a podcast. And if you, I mean, I don't know how we would or could work together, or like I said, if we're just competing for some of the same territory here. But oh, good, good, right, right. Well, I know that, and Stone and I have talked about that before. If what I was going to say is, if you want the audio feed from virtual pitch practice, I give it to you if you want it. Make it available to you. I mean, I know what your business model is. In fact, I guess you weren't involved in this. 6 years ago, 5 years ago, however long it was ago, Barry Etcher and I were doing a bit in person with your Decatur office because it was the closest and easiest to schedule. And then I know that the Decatur thing went south. Right. Because every time we come up, it's a new story. Ray's Forum is a good story. Sure. or me helping you. I mean, I'm just looking for a partnership that works for us both. And you- sure, sure, I understand that. Right. Sure. And I'll tell you now, this is you just signed my NDA, but probably we're coming out with Warren Everett, the big onto startup accounting firm for virtual pitch practice. Trevelino Keller was going to help us out, but they said they just got so busy with COVID that they can't pay attention. And I'm talking to John Yates and Ann McDonald at Morris Manning and Martin, and hopefully they will come on as what I was saying during the interview. Those subject matter experts. Somebody from Morris Manning and Martin comes on as the legal beagle, and somebody from Warren Averett comes on as the the financial structure type of expertise. So we're you know we're dancing around each other. Let me ask you a quick question about the other cities. Do you have any influence over them at all, or are they totally independent? Because I want to be on everybody's Business Radio X, because since we're doing the virtual pitch practice and virtual means remote, I could take, interactive interviews with guys anywhere in the country. I want to be on all those shows. Yeah. hmm Well, Stone said that you did have a couple of people who have bought the franchise and bought into the model. Right, right. Well, yeah, give it some thought. I put it to Stone. Uh, it, sure, absolutely. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth anybody's while. I'm all about sharing. I will tell you, quickly, the support that I'm getting from these guys is not monetary at the moment, because I don't have a 10-year track record like you guys do. But what they're doing is time, mailing lists, promotion, cross promotion. Eventually, I will get real sponsorship deals. And uh, cool. pitching in, right? Except that we have them for the Raise Forum. They are writing not big checks, but some, financial funding for Raise Forum. So, right, gotcha. Oh, I, whatever reason, because money's fucking tight and people are, you know, pulling in their. Right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right, Lee, it's been a great pleasure. I look forward to working with you guys again and again. Let me know what's next for this. Great. Appreciate it. Thanks for everything, Lee. All right, see ya.